battles in the Vietnam War.
All right, and Jamie and Cassie.
You've heard of the wonders our land has possessed, its beautiful valleys and hills, the majestic forests where nature abounds. We love every nook and rill, and here we have Idaho, winning her way to fame. Silver and gold in the sunlight blaze, and romance lies in her name. Singing, singing of you, all proudly too, all our lives through we'll go singing, singing of you, singing of Idaho. There's only one state in this great land of ours where ideals can be realized. The pioneers made it so for you and me. A legacy will always rise. And here we have Idaho, winning her way to fame. Silver and gold in the sunlight blaze, and romance lies in her name. Singing, singing of you, all proudly too, all our lives through we'll go singing, singing of you, singing of Idaho.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you today. This is a special event that the fourth graders look forward to. Some of them have told me they've waited years to get into fourth grade so that they can have you come as their guests. So we welcome you and appreciate the sacrifice you've made to serve in the military and the sacrifice you've made to come today. We really appreciate you. And our students are learning a little bit more about what it entails to be a veteran and to serve in the military. One of the things I've noticed is that my students stand up and they say the Pledge of Allegiance almost every day, and they just rattle it off. So one of the things we'd like to start with today is I've asked Natalia and Dante to help us understand a little bit more the meaning of the Pledge of Allegiance. So they're going to do that, and then we'll just proceed from there.
I pledge allegiance
I promise to be true
to the flag
to the symbol of our country,
of the United States of America
each state that is going to make our country.
and to the republic
A republic is a country where the people choose others to make laws for them. The government is of, by, and for the people.
for which it stands,
The flag means the country,
one nation,
a single country.
under God,
The people believe in a supreme being.
indivisible,
The country cannot be split into parts.
with liberty and justice
With freedom and fairness
for all.
for each person in the country, you and me. The pledge says you are promising to be true to the United States of America.
The original Pledge of Allegiance was written by Francis Bellamy. Okay. Please think about the meaning of the Pledge of Allegiance the next time you feel it. At this time, the Cub and Weeblo Scouts will present and post the colors. They will be directed by Weeblo Gunner Whitehead.
Color guard. Oh, wait. Will the audience please rise? And salute. Color guard, forward, march. Ready, two. Audience, please be seated. Color guard, dismissed.
We do things a little bit differently. Some of you have been with us before and you know we've had a speaker or we've had you present. But this time we decided we'd have some of the students share some of the things that were special to them from their veterans. So we'll start with Natalia and then Dante. Actually, we're going to start with Dante so we can shut the projector off. Dante, his father couldn't be here today, but he has a special grandfather that he's going to tell you about. And we're actually going to let him tell you about it. And then we're going to show the video. So, Dante, just the top page. No, use the one with big print. And then, Natalia, when we finish the video, if you'll come and present yours. Dante has the citation here. It has huge words like indomitable and things like that. And he told us in our class what had happened. And it's very, very exciting, impressive what happened. So it's your great-grandfather, right? Okay.
My grandpa, David B. Blake, he served in Korea. I'm not sure what war exactly.
Yeah, the Korean War.
Yeah. Cool. He was a medic, so he went on the hills to go find wounded people to take them to, I don't know.
Okay, so tell us what happened.
And then he was kind of hard.
He has stage fright, if you can believe this. Okay, I'll help you.
Okay.
Maybe start right here. Sergeant Bleak.
Sergeant Blake, a member of the medical company, distinguished himself by conspicuous gallantry and indomitable courage, above and beyond the call of duty in action against the enemy. As a medical aidman, he volunteered to accompany a
Reconnaissance.
patrol committed to engage the enemy and capture a prisoner from interrogation. Forging up the rugged slope of the key terrain, the group was subjected to intense automatic weapons and small arms fire and suffered several casualties. After administering to the wounded, he continued to advance with the patrol, nearing the military crest of the hill while attempting to cross the fire-swept area to attend the wounded. He came under hostile fire from a small group of the enemy concealed in a trench. Entering the trench, he closed with the two enemy, killed two with bare hands and a third with his trench knife. Moving from the emplacement, he saw a concussion grenade fall in front of a companion and quickly shifted his position, shielded a man from the impact from the blast. Later, while ministering to the wounded, he was struck by a hostile bullet. But despite the wound, he undertook to evacuate a wounded comrade. As he moved down the hill with his heavy burden, he was attacked by two enemy soldiers with fixed bayonets. Closing with the aggressors, he grabbed them and smacked their heads together, then carried his helpless comrade down the hill to safety. Sergeant Bleak's dauntless courage and intrepid actions reflect utmost credit upon himself and are in keeping with the honored traditions for the military service.
Okay, and what was really cool, Dante said, you know, as a medic, he didn't have a gun. He had a knife, and that's all. And so it really wasn't hand-to-hand combat. It was hand-to-gun combat. So congratulations, and thanks for sharing that. And we have a clip of President Eisenhower presenting the Medal of Honor.
Sergeant Bliss, Army Medical Service, United States Army, a member of the Medical Company, 223rd Infantry Regiment, 40th Infantry Division, distinguished himself by conspicuous gallantry and indomitable courage above and beyond the call of duty in action against the enemy in the vicinity of Minari-Ball, Korea, on 14 June 1952. As a medical aid man, he volunteered to accompany a reconnaissance patrol committed to engage the enemy and capture a prisoner for interrogation.
Yeah, he did say he was a big boy. He is a big man, wasn't he? Okay, Natalia.
This Navy uniform was my great-grandpa Bear's. He served on submarines, arming the torpedoes in the tubes. He had to crawl down inside, arm the torpedo, and then crawl back up. The tubes were 14 inches in diameter, 2 feet, 1 foot, 2 inches. Great-grandpa also served on subtenders for part of the war. He was wounded once when a torpedo backfired and once went by the shrapnel during an air raid. And there's 13 buttons on it, on the pants, representing the 13 colonies. My great-grandma Bear made this blanket with her mother out of a Japanese parachute from World War II. My grandpa was the first baby born on that side of the family after the war. So Grandpa's uncle Orvis gave great-grandma the parachute silk to use. Great-grandma drew and painted the designs, and then she and her mother quilted it. And this is the actual parachute part, and this is just the quilting.
Our school secretary, Tara Roots, has a family connection to some battles in World War II. Your dad? Okay, so she's got a little souvenir that she'd like to share.
Well, my dad was in World War II. And that was when, I'm sure you've all heard of Hitler, the Nazis. When his company went through this little town, I don't know if it was a little town, he didn't talk much about it, but they overtook the town, and they each of the men cut down a flag, and they signed their names on it and put their addresses from whoever's in his company. It's kind of a neat little souvenir.
Can you read some of the names and maybe where they're from?
Sure. There's Edward Bollinger from Orlando, Kentucky. William Middleton from Henrietta, Oklahoma. There's some from Pocatello on here too. Where they're all at, but kind of starting to fade a little bit. So are my eyes.
a guy from Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, Oklahoma, California. I was trying to find the ones from Pocatello. Well, here's one, Jim Conway from Pocatello, Idaho. Los Angeles, California, North Carolina, Baltimore, all different kinds of places. So he was in the military with some people from a lot of different places, even here in Idaho and just all over the country. So it's kind of a fun souvenir.
Did you say what year that was?
I didn't say. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure.
And it was France?
Germany.
In France, or he was in Germany. So
He was
it
in
was probably after then
Yeah.
D-Day, and they were the
Yeah.
final push into Germany.
Probably, yeah.
It might have been early 1945.
45, yeah.
Like I said, he didn't talk much about it.
Yeah.
But I did end up with the flag, so it's kind of fun to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, and understand too, the swastika is a symbol of evil, but this is kind of a more triumphant thing because it shows that, we went in there and got them out and liberated that town.
Yeah, we don't take it out very, it's kind of spooky taking it out because the swastika is not a good sign, like Ms. McCurdy said, it is an evil sign, so it makes you kind of feel like, oh, but then when you find out what it's really about, it's not. Because, anyway, it was,
What? Liberated?
Friday of last week, Reagan and her family were invited to Pocatello to the Farm Bureau Veterans Day program because she wrote an essay, What My Family's Military Service Means to Me, and she won first place in 1st through 6th grade and earned a $250 savings bond besides, but they asked her to come and read hers. So we've asked her, well, we talked about it, I didn't exactly asked her, so I'm asking. Just to share her feelings towards her family who are today. Okay, are you good? This is Hannah. That work? Okay.
My dad, Joseph Chandler, serving in the military made me very happy and proud, but at times it also made me sad, scared, and lonely. My dad spent his first 2 years in the Marine Corps serving in one of only 2 Marine Corps presidential units. His first unit was one of only 2 Marine. His first unit was Marine Barracks, Yakutia, Japan. The Marines Barracks was a special forces unit. They guarded the base and the people stationed there along with their families. He was sentry at the quarter for 2 quarters in the time he was stationed there. My dad even got to help guard President Bill Clinton when he visited the base. My dad's second duty station was in North Carolina, where he was an infantryman in 1st Sixth Marines Bravo Company 3rd Platoon. He went on a medful and got to travel to Europe and Navy on a Navy ship. My dad got to help guard President Clinton's daughter while in Jerusalem. When my dad got back to the U.S., he left the military after serving 49 months. 2 months later, he went to the Marine Corps Rescuers as a patrolman. My older sister was born 7 months later. 4 months after my dad joined the Air Force, I was born. He was stationed in the U.S. with the 22nd LRS. I was proud of my dad, and I would always tell people my daddy was an Army guy. He never corrected me because he was proud of me, the fact I wanted the whole world to know. Sometimes my dad would Happy again. I got to help my dad get dressed every day until he could do it on his own. It was a lot of fun. He had to leave the Air Force after 30 months. It made me mad he couldn't serve in the military anymore. Even though he isn't in the military anymore, he still makes me proud of what he did and what sacrifices he made for our family. After my dad got better, he began working in the law enforcement, which is just as scary as working in a scary, because some days I'm scared he won't come home to me. My dad has done some awesome things in his military career. My dad teaches me things about the military all the time and tells me stories of some of the things he did, and when he even told me he would get lonely and sad sometimes when he was gone because he wanted to see, hug and kiss me and my sister, but couldn't because he was far away. The proudest day of my life was when my third grade class went on a field trip to Yankee Fork in Challis, Idaho. My dad got to go with me that day. There is a monument honoring people who served in the military there, and I got to show everyone in my class my daddy's name on it. My dad talked to my class a little about the military, and I was so proud and happy of him that day. I want to be in the military someday like my father was. I hope to be as courageous as him and make him proud of my accomplishments. I know my dad tells me every day he is proud of me, but I want to be in the military to make him even prouder than he already is. I am honored to be his daughter. Thank you for being my father. I love you, Dad.
The kids have made some fun garments for you to take home. They'll smell good, we hope, for a really long time. And so I know my class has made specific ones, and so when we're all done asking questions and having question and answer, then my class can pick yours and take it to your veteran. And Miss McCurdy's class then can give out theirs.
Yeah, we've got these little.
Oh, come tell about those.
You want them down here? I forgot that one, sorry. Kara brought in this little bag from a granddad of one of my students, and it just says each child can shake the hand of a veteran and give them one of these, and they're just little commemorative coins. They look like they might have been pennies that were smashed, or anyway, it says thank you for your service. Let's see, Army and Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, so it names all the service branches. So my class, you guys will be able to come get these and give them to your favorite veteran visiting us today, and just take them away as a symbol of our gratitude for what you guys have done.